We all love people in uniform, don't we? Blue Bloods has held our attention for 12 years running. While fans wait for the 13th season, we're whiling away our time by rewatching our favorite episodes featuring the Reagans. But a few fans with laser-sharp vision have spotted a Blue Blood blunder. Keep watching to find out a key Blue Blood mistake and more bloopers. First up, a crucial scene in Season 7, Episode 13 almost ruined the shot. Season 13 of CBS hit procedural drama Blue Bloods is set to premiere in October. Fans had been rewatching the series to refresh their memories before its release and discovered a major blunder in Season 7. Blue Bloods is a drama that follows the professional and personal lives of the Reagan family, led by patriarch Frank Reagen, played by Tom Selleck. While they worked on their cases, the family would gather each week for Sunday dinner to discuss work and offer each other advice. During Season 7, the episode Foreign Interference shows the law enforcement discovering a dangerous ex-KGB agent who had entered the U.S. on a diplomatic visa. While watching the riveting episode, viewers were quick to notice a major flaw. On MovieMistakes.com, a viewer pointed out the error. He noted that when Baez tells Dennis that a detective is arriving from Moscow who can help with their investigation, the scene cuts to Anthony entering the courtroom, except there's a visible T-mark on the ground. The presence of the T-mark tape just 8 minutes into the episode was undoubtedly a major oversight, as it is a symbol used for accuracy. It reminds the actor where they need to be, which assists camera production in determining where they need to be to hit their marks. Although this proved to be a distraction for some viewers, others were captivated by the episode to see Danny shoot the criminal as he attempted to flee. Next, this isn't the only time crew equipment has made its cameo appearance. In Season 4, Episode 13, To Protect and Serve, a murderer has been working as an informant for Homeland Security. Erin and Danny take him to trial. However, things don't proceed smoothly. Erin gets shot in the shoulder by their captive, who insists on speaking to Danny alone behind the courthouse. As Danny steps out of his car at 32 minutes, you'll spot a crew member in his side view mirror in a red shirt holding a clapperboard. We wonder how many takes this tense scene needed that the crew member stayed within eyesight to do a retake and use his scene marker. It looks like the cameramen of Blue Bloods love those tapes, because in Season 7, Episode 16, just 4 minutes into the show, the scene begins with Frank and Nick inside Frank's office. There's a red tape mark visible on the floor near the window. As soon as Nick exits, Frank walks over and stands on the tape mark. Don't go anywhere. We've got hilarious bloopers waiting for you. And Criminal Minds was really on their minds. Both Blue Bloods and Criminal Minds are fantastic shows, but have long been competing for audiences' attention. The cast never shied from acknowledging the ongoing rivalry. Of course, when you're wondering how your show will fare against Matthew Gray Gubler's cute smile, then you're only bound to have a slip-up. In a scene between Eddie and Jamie, Vanessa is trying to talk to him about a criminal, but instead pauses when she forgets her line. To this, Eddie chimes in with Criminal Minds. Vanessa smiles and adds, "That's a different show," and they proceed to reshoot the scene. Now that's one epic Freudian slip right there. However, we're certain there are more such mistakes to occur because Criminal Minds is making a highly anticipated revival on Paramount+. Thankfully, the family that dines together laughs together. One of the most pivotal stories in Blue Bloods is that surrounding the family dynamics. While the family is busy putting baddies in jail, there's always an episode featuring a great Sunday dinner. That's when the whole cast usually gets together and cracks each other up. Tom Selleck revealed that his favorite episodes include the ones when they are all dining. He may love bonding with them, but there's one downside to getting to know one another better. Apparently, their dinner scenes require a grueling 8-hour-long shoot of them just pretending to eat. There is hilarious behind-the-scenes footage of the cast throwing their utensils at one another and trying to liven things up. Food is constantly featured in many episodes, too. After all, you have cops working at odd hours trying to catch a crook, so the occasional takeout boxes make their appearances. In a funny scene where Jamie and Eddie are casually sitting and eating snacks, Will Estes declares, "I'm reaching my peanut maximum." Now, we may not agree with how Selleck reacts to free food, but we're just a phone call away. Next, Donnie Wahlberg is easily the joker of the group. Talking about eating, Donnie appeared on the Kelly Ripa show where she asked him what his strategy was to get through such elaborate eating scenes. He said he tried to be smart and began consuming more vegetables, except it didn't have the desired results. He found himself becoming extremely gassy after ingesting large amounts of broccoli and spinach and tends to take far too many fresh air breaks. We're almost glad we don't need to share a table with Donnie in between takes. Now, Donnie has made a name for himself, and he isn't only known for being Mark Wahlberg's brother. He has a knack for playing a hard-hitting cop, and while he pretends to be tough, he's anything but that. In a funny BTS footage, we can see him method acting to get into the zone for a dinner scene. He takes deep breaths and pulls on his acting mask. The cast notices what he's doing, and after an awkward pause, the cast and crew break into fits of laughter. But he doesn't spare his castmates who screw up their lines either. In a funny blooper, Andrew Terracciano, who plays Sean Reagan, accidentally calls him Uncle Grandpa. That causes them to all break character, and Donnie ribs him for his slip-up. We'd be okay with watching Donnie instead of Mark in a cop comedy movie for a change. And where you have cops, you have cars. A lot of the scenes in the cop show involve cops getting into cars, out of them, or just staking out a place for hours before a crazy chase scene. Blue Bloods has plenty of car sequences, but while sitting in a car with a green screen may not feel real, the car does jolt and shake to create the desired effect of a chase or a crash. In a cute, behind-the-scene footage, Marisa and Donnie are in a car when suddenly the wind wipers begin moving on their own and start swiping in an out-of-control way. Both Marisa and Donnie are startled, but Donnie acts like he's screaming for his life, and the two laugh heartily. But that's not all that Donnie's up to. The man loves strutting and sticking out his rear to the camera in between takes. There are plenty of hilarious outtakes where he pulls his coat up and pretends to woo the cameraman. Talk about him not being too subtle. We just hope the younger cast isn't around when he does this. Next, it takes a lot of effort to say the lines right. Season 4's blooper reel is full of improvisations. Will Estes seems to screw up his lines the most. In a heated scene, we see him talking on his cell saying, "I wanted to check up on you, and I have forgotten all of my lines. Can we do it again?" He then moves off set while we hear a few of the crew cracking up. In another scene, Tom Selleck and Bridget Moynihan are exiting a building and talking when Tom abruptly stops. The two break character and Tom confesses he's forgotten his lines again. He also wonders out loud if they'll ever be able to complete the scene. Every season's gag reels have Tom apologizing mid-sentence for forgetting his line. We wonder if the weight of his legendary mustache takes away his attention. In another hilarious behind-the-scenes footage, Donnie and Bridget are engaged in a serious conversation when Bridget removes a little sparkle off of Donnie's nose and calls him Sparkles. That seems to be the cue for Donnie, who breaks out into improv song and dance singing. "That's 'cause you were dancing up all night for me at the club, girl." Bridget looks disappointingly at the camera and mouths the words, "My goodness." Clearly not as amused as Donnie, who's breaking a leg with his moves. That's not the only outtake of him dancing. There are just too many behind-the-scene clips of Donnie shimmying and shaking to a beat in his head just before the start of a scene. The man will truly do anything to lighten the mood. We're surprised the show has made it through 12 seasons with Donnie, and we sure hope he makes a return with his antics in season 13. And that's all for today, folks. If we've missed out on your favorite bloopers over the years, tell us in the comments below. Until then, we'll keep our eyes glued to what the Reagans are doing behind the scenes and wait for any intel on season 13.